all things are lawful, but not all things build up. This does not, just because it's lawful, because it's permissible, because because the law of the land says that you can do it, doesn't mean it's a good idea. This is not going to build our country up. This is not going to build Oregon up in any kind of way. You watch what this does. I'm not a prophet. I'm not claiming to be in any kind of way, but you watch what this is going to do, even to homeless. You watch how there'll be a lot more homeless people. There'll be a lot more. I mean, I think of just some of the things that in San Francisco and the culture there, and just when you loosen up on some of these laws, it's not going to be good. You're taking your hand off the wheel.
Yeah, I went to Oregon a few weeks before we recorded this, and I was there in Washington State, and they were talking about the homeless population in Portland, and when you drive in, you see tents everywhere. People are just living in certain areas, and one guy told me he was in a program, a drug program, rehab program in Washington. He said there are sections, and of course he had the name of it. I can't recall the name, but he said there are sections of Oregon where all these tents and people live, and he says the cops won't even go in there. Like it, he goes, the stuff that goes on in there, he goes, it's dangerous to go in there.
It's like Sodom and Gomorrah look like.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, you're talking about what's already happening, and you're saying it's going to happen even more, this homeless.
Right.
That's a great point.
Right. It's and you're going to see like just where they're going to hand out, they're going to be handing out like needles.
Yeah.
And that's what they do in some of these areas. And that'll happen there. Like, because they'll want them to use clean needles rather than, which they don't. They're just going to use them and then keep using them and handing them around. They're not going to be, like they're living their life.
Oh, that's not a clean needle. I guess I won't shoot up then.
Right.
That doesn't ever happen.
No. It's going to be, and just like even that verse 24, let no one seek his own good, but the good of his neighbor. Yeah. And this is it's just a terrible idea. And it breaks my heart to know. And that's why as biblical counselors, as people that love God's word and love like sharing the gospel and sharing the hope of the gospel with people that are desperate for it, we do have in some ways, I think this is the way we've got to look at it. We have a greater opportunity to take the light of the gospel into these places and be very proactive and say, we have an answer. We have a hope.